Hi guys, it's Phil from Cleveland Moto. Today's bike is going to be a 2021 Piaggio BV350. BV stands for Beverly in Europe. This is a 350cc fuel-injected scooter, and yes, it has the big motorcycle wheels and tires, which means it handles more like a motorcycle than it does a scooter. On the bike, you're going to notice this one does happen to have a GV blade top case with a back pad. Really fun bikes. These are a real joy to ride. Over 90 miles per hour, so you're not going to be able to have any trouble going super fast on this bike. Now, the big thing with the BVs is these are super commuters. Really handy bike to have around. Really handy bike if you're going back and forth to work. Now, fun thing is, press the button. That's the seat popper. So we've got a seat popper built into the bike, so you can go ahead and lift the seat at your command. Super neat. And you have your toolkit, your battery, enough storage under here easily for a 14-inch laptop. Be able to get that in there super easy, all your stuff. The glove box in the front also has more storage area. So if you want to put something in the front of the vehicle, you've got a USB port up there for all your electronic devices. Plenty of room in here for your cell phone, garage door opener, etc. It's a really fun bike to ride. It handles great. You're going to see the braking system on this thing is fantastic. So the ABS braking system, in addition to that, the traction control system really makes this bike a super safe, easy bike to ride. Also, LED supplemental lighting up here with big halogens at the headlight. This is for the American market. If you're not in the American market, you don't have to look at those. Your turn signals will be down in the lower level. Seat is excellent, and the bike does work out well for people who are 5'4", 5'6". They can ride this bike no problem. I'm 6'1", and I have no problem riding this bike. I'm not crowded or cramped up at all. On the display and the controls, here we go. High beam, low beam, left turn signal, push to cancel, right turn signal, horn. This is for the seat lock. ASR, that turns off your traction control. When you get on the bike, the ABS and the traction control lights are going to be flashing. They're waiting for 3 miles an hour for them to sync up. Over here on the right-hand side, emergency shutoff switch, mode button for the trip meter. So we've got the regular odometer, we've got trip meter 1, and we've got trip meter 2. Click it again, you got your battery health, and you've got your ambient temperature. Electric start is on the right. Hold the brake, press the button to start. This is the factory windshield that comes with the machine. That's what you're going to get when you buy the bike. That's 0 to 60, nice and fast. Plenty of power, no worries there. Now, if you look down at the speedometer on this one, this bike's 2021, which means the kilometers were dominant on the outside of the speedo. Miles per hour are the smaller numbers on the inside. Various different tests people have done with these. Seems to be you're going to get between 60 and 70 miles per gallon on the cheap 87 octane gas. So I know the owner's manual does say to put something like 95 in it, but that's European octane. They use the research octane number over there. Here in America, we use RM2. Your 95 octane RON is going to be equal to around 90 RM2. Bike's got a good sound. It's not doesn't sound bad at all. It's got nice auditory. Mirror view is excellent. I mean, I've got these set, and I am barely even seeing the hint of my elbow in the view of the mirror. That is very nicely done. We could even yaw them out a little bit more. We could even put them out a little wider if we needed to, but I don't think we need to. This is a really nice setup on this bike. Funny thing is, we have 3 of these in stock right now. It's just a funny thing. Vespa's running a trade-in program at the moment, and some of the folks that have bikes that are 3 or 4 years old are bringing them all in for trade at the same time. Super cool for us because we love these bikes. This is a great way to get all the modern features at a hell of a discounted price. With everything that this bike has, it's competing with the brand new BV400 in every possible way except for Bluetooth connectivity. bike is super predictable thanks to the tall wheels. It's never going to spook you or freak you out. If you haven't ridden a tall-wheeled scooter yet, if you've only been riding small-wheeled bikes, yeah, this is more of a motorcycle experience. It's very stable. It's very planted. Not surprising at all. Now, if you wanted to get rid of some of that slipstream noise, some of that buffeting, go to a taller windshield. Like I said, this is the factory stock windshield. I don't have a problem with it. That guy seems to be moving along nicely. We'll go ahead and catch up to him. Right now we're at a 90 indicated. Now we know the speedos on these can be 10% optimistic on virtually every bike out there. So if you see yourself going 90, you can subtract 10%. It's probably 81. We'll give ourselves a little bit of room here. That's an indicated 95. And indicated 97. And we'll back out of it. But yeah, even hitting those expansion joints, even hitting those bumps, not a problem. Somebody lost some trash on the freeway. So, very good, easy freeway handling bike. Very predictable. Goes where you point it. Very stable, as you can see here. The bike doesn't fight us at all. The bike just wants to go where we point it. It's a really, really fun bike. If you're going to go a long distance on a scooter, this is absolutely an excellent bike to go long distance on. You'll have no problem running this bike a 400-mile day. The seat and the riding position are actually excellent. My feet and my legs are right inside the pocket. If it was raining in here, I'd be dry. I don't have to work hard. Even with 34-inch inseam, I don't have to work hard to get my legs and feet into the correct riding position. Not at all. I'm not feeling at all, scrunched up on the riding position on this bike. So, yeah, as far as I'm concerned, it's a really excellent bike, especially an excellent bike if you want to do some high-speed commuting on it. It's a real good choice. People run along real fast on this road, and normally when I'm riding a smaller scooter, a 150 or a 200, I'm getting beat up pretty bad. I got to stay in the right lane. But as you can see today, we're out here in the left lane. We're moving along with all the traffic, having no problem passing them if you want to. If you're looking for a capable touring scooter, this might be the one for you. Always been impressed by how much luggage this bike can hold. We have customers that have over 60, 70,000 miles on this bike and absolutely love them. Because of the big motorcycle tires, you're going to get really nice longevity out of your tires and your brakes. So you're not going to be changing those every 5,000, 6,000 miles. You're going to be getting the longer motorcycle ranges out of these taller tires. So we're a big fan around here. If you have any questions about the BV350, just give us a shout at Cleveland Moto. You can reach out to us in all the normal ways. And remember, folks, ride fast, take chances. So after that quick blast on the freeway, just want to kind of give you guys an update. If there's anything that we could say that we don't love about the BV, anything that we could say that's kind of, it's annoying or it's one of those things that kind of comes up all the time, people do, mostly it's people that don't like motorcycles, they will complain about the seat or they will complain about the head shake. And this is the head shake. We're talking about if you let go of the handlebars, the handlebars can start to oscillate, okay? And I'm going to tell you that the head shake, as you just saw, I just let go of the handlebars and they didn't oscillate. The head shake seems to be this weird phenomenon that about 35 miles per hour, give or take, while you're decelerating. And what it is I think it's mostly for the bikes that have the top case on the back. You're getting that sort of instability, and the bike wants to kind of rock with the wind. Well, the front wheel is a big old gyroscope, and it just tries to correct. So the bike tilts a little to the left, and then it tries to correct. The bike tilts a little to the right, it tries to correct, and it ends up being this wobble. Some people call it a death wobble or a shimmy. Vespa GTSs were known for this, and it seems to be a lot more present in scooters than in motorcycles because we have this open space in the middle of the chassis, so this twist or this oscillation can become more pronounced. It is definitely more pronounced if you're in a situation where the bike is decelerating. So if the bike is decelerating, which means it's moving, transferring energy from the back of the bike to the front of the bike, and your hands aren't on the bars. So it can be like that. There it goes. Okay? So you could see it happening. However, even your hands slightly on the bars, any amount of pressure on the bars whatsoever, and it will stop it. There is absolutely no oscillation. There's no wobble if you're got even your hand just resting on the bars. But if you're going to take both your hands off the bars while the bike is decelerating, 37 miles an hour or so, you're going to see that oscillation, and it might freak you out. I promise you there's nothing wrong with the bike. And you can put handlebar weights on there that can be a pound apiece, and it still won't change that. It mitigated a tiny bit, but it won't change it. This is something, now we're going just under 40 miles per hour. I'm going to go ahead and initiate it so you can see it happen. There you go. There's the oscillation. Now, at speeds lower than that, the oscillation doesn't come back again. The magic number seems to be right around 37 miles per hour, and we can replicate it. We'll go ahead and put the same situation. There we go. And maybe we'll get it, just a little bit there. So that's the thing that happens. That's the thing that we have heard people say. And I promise you, it's not just your bike. It's not a problem with your machine. It doesn't mean that your wheel's out of alignment. It doesn't mean that you got a bad wheel. It doesn't mean you've got bad bushings in your suspension. This bike is, for all intents and purposes, brand new. It's just a thing that happens. And this is the thing that I can tell you is this people became aware of this in the early 2000s when the Vespa GT200 came out, and I don't know where all these people were that were riding around with their hands off the bars. That's not a thing I've ever felt was required on a motorcycles, to be riding around with no hands on the bars. But people were complaining that when they took both the hands off the bars, it was shaking. And then we started noticing that in a bunch of other bikes too. Honda Helixes, Suzuki Bergmans, the Kymco Grand Vista had a particularly violent head shake. But it was always while the bike was decelerating, and it was always kind of in that weird 35 to 40 mile per hour zone. And the best advice I can give you is, why would you take both your hands off the bars? It does seem like a common sense kind of thing. I've heard dealers tell people, like, hey, where in the manual does it say you're supposed to ride around with your hands off the bars? As you can see, when it happens, if it happens, well, the solution is just put your hands on the bars. If you notice that wobble, then go ahead and there you go, and just put your hands on the bar. It goes away instantly. Second, you touch it, it goes away. But yeah, we've taken them all apart. We've tried super balancing the wheels. We've tried changing the bearings, tightening the bearings, loosening the axles. We've tried changing different bar end weights. We did find that when you take the top cases off the back, the problem almost immediately goes away. When you buy a top case from Vespa, a Vespa branded top case or a Piaggio branded top case, they do actually come with some giant honkin' bar ends. And the giant honkin' bar ends, they weigh twice or triple what the factory ones do. So that's one way that people have sort of dealt with the problem, is to just make the bar end weights heavier. So this bike just has the factory bar end weights on it. I was able to simulate the problem for you, kind of show you how it happens, how to instigate that problem, and not having, nothing that anybody can't deal with. All right, so if you have any questions, get in touch with us at ClevelandMoto. We'd be happy to help you out.